So first of all, I became a part of the Allen Ministerial Alliance. And at the time, there was probably a very small group of people that were involved in that. Father Tom Clordy, who is the founding pastor at St. Jude Catholic Church, excuse me, and Ben Hubert, who was at the Christian Church. And there was a food pantry there that was serving a lot of people. And the Methodist Church would take food over to St. Jude and do, our part. And I was part of the missions committee. Fred Winslow had invited me to actually lead it. And so we were doing some outreach kind of work. And what we kept seeing is that there was a great need in the community, that over and over again, people were needing food, they were needing assistance with gas, or they needed just some money to pay their bills. And so we started talking in our group about what it would take if we moved it into a centralized place and let all the churches be those who supported the missions of the community. And so I was really felt called to be a part of, being a larger reach, getting our church more involved in being those that really met the needs of the people in the community, and sometimes those that were coming through. We also needed a little bit of a place where we could keep track of people who had constant needs and maybe help them in bigger and wider ways to get off of the consistent need for food. So that's how this all started. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember having this great missions committee, but I will tell you that the biggest group of people that made the biggest impact was the youth group. Now, I was the youth minister at the time, and I can remember us deciding that we were going to have a trick or treat for canned goods instead of going out trick-or-treating on a Halloween night. Boy, we surprised a lot of folks when they came to the door, and they had their candy, and we said, no, but we want canned goods. And there were, I think I remember like 10 trunk loads of food that we took over to this Allen Community Outreach. And it was just, it blew them away. We came in, and then there was all the adults that came along with that were driving the cars, and we ended up stocking the pantry. And it was a fun conversation yesterday I had with Father Tom Clordy, who remembers that first time at the Church of Allen constantly was the one that made all the difference in filling the store. Wow. And he said, yeah, you all beat us all the time at St. Jude. So I had to kind of laugh about that, but I appreciated his acknowledgement that, Allen, First United Methodist Church of Allen has always had a big heart for serving people.
Mm-hmm. What year was that? Like 1989 or something like that?
So we think that it was the late 80s. We know that the food pantry was established in 85. And that we were realizing a need almost immediately. And it took us about 3 or 4 years to actually establish the cooperative and a new place beyond St. Jude at the downtown location. And at the time, that downtown area was actually boarded up. There was nothing down there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And part of the new life that came to the area was really from opening up a door of a boarded downtown building and freshening it up and making it a place where people can come get food. Well, I mean, of course, there's this sense of joy when you're able to do something for somebody else, and it makes so much difference. I do remember some client times, connecting to different people who are our neighbors who certainly were appreciative. I remember from the beginning thinking this is going to need to be bigger than giving just food and sometimes like vouchers that we got to get gas or in some instances, stay at hotels, that it really needs to be a place where we can help people get sustained in their life. So I do think, the impact of how it's grown to be able to really change people's lives, so that, it could just be a moment in time where they need help to get past what's going on right now. And, there were people that had personal crises in the moment that needed help. It's been a few years, so
Yeah.
like, instances just that it was overall helping the community take responsibility, and care for their own people in the community.